never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Track Limits Championship for the final race of the season from DGT Seaside. Let's not hang about, let's hand over to our real taters. So here we go then for the championship decider at Dragon Trail Seaside, otherwise known as DGT Seaside. And joining me in commentary is Ray. How are you, Ray? You're good then. SGP on pole position, Steve F1 in second, Jason in third place with Twilight joining him on the second row.
Yeah, and then we've got Conrad fifth, and then Demon R down in sixth, SRI in seventh, and Dave the Harp in eighth.
Yep, Jimmy in ninth with formerly Gary in 10th, Rich Blues in 11th, and Hay in 12th as we get ready for the start of this race.
Okay, you wee ball back, yeah, wallet.
Okay, well, yeah, try subtitling that then. So, here we go then, as we wait for the lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, Ray's got deadly quiet, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go! And it looks like a decent start from Demon R actually. Jason also got a good jump off the line, he's all over the back of Steve F1. SGP's not had the best of starts, Demon R's up to 4th place from 6th, and we're about to go 3 wide into turn 1, are we? They're looking 2 wide. Jason takes the lead momentarily. No, he doesn't. Steve F1 takes Demon R's up into 2nd place. That's quite critical for a championship.
Yeah, the Demon R doesn't want Steve F1 getting away from him. As we see, SRI up to 4th from 7th.
Absolutely.
So he's had a good start as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to quickly mention, regarding the championship as it stands, Steve F1 leads it by 3 points, and this is the last race of the season. So whoever finishes ahead of the other, depending on where they're placed, wins the championship. And that's exactly why you said Demon R doesn't want to let Steve F1 run away, and he's not. He's attacking him. No, he's not. He's backed out of it into the harbour hairpin.
Yeah, was he going to wait till after the bus stop chicane, or is he going to go? Would you make him out at the
Bumble? Probably not. No, it's quite rich because the thing is, one of those situations where for these guys up at the front, if they get it wrong, it could be race over. Demon R having a look up the inside into the final corner, into not stop him. Steve F1 doesn't fight it too hard, but that's probably because he's going to try getting the slipstream down into Demon's elbow.
Yeah, and Jason's just sitting there in the background, he's waiting, like, he's going to get more of a benefit with the slipstream, so let's see how this goes. As Steve F1, is he going for the move? No, he's not.
Jason is.
Jason in. Hard on the brakes, you see them glowing right up there, and is that SRI or Con? It's SRI.
Yeah, SRI caught to the back of Steve F1 as well. It's a lovely move by Jason. While that was happening, Dave the Harp was making a move past Conrad on the pack cam. So yeah, very interesting beginning of the race here. Oh, Dave the Harp making moves on someone else as well. I think that is...
It's still Conrad, they're fighting.
All right, yeah, they're still battling together through Brobot. Demon R's opening up a little bit of a gap here. Conrad all over the back of Dave the Arp now on the pack cam. I must admit, I'm quite interested to see that SRI is up to 4th, but SGP, who started on pole, is down in 8th. No, he's not. He's lower down. He's 9th. He's on the pack cam in that gaggle of cars. Look.
Yeah, was he? Is that Jimmy overtaking him?
Yeah, Jimmy's trying. Yeah, Twilight's there as well. Go on.
Rich is... No, Rich hasn't got past him, has he? No.
Now, side by side. Oh, yeah. Now, historically, someone at some point will hit the walls through Mitch's bomb hole. It is just going to happen. I don't... Twilight making the move. Oh, a bit of a lock up on the brakes. That'll hurt them.
That's Conrad.
You're right, it is Conrad. Twilight's brakes are fine, although someone's heading into the pits.
Twilight.
So maybe Twilight's tyres aren't fine. But yeah, into the pits he goes. Now, interesting with Twilight, he's currently sitting in 4th in the standings. He's got a 7-8 point gap over Jason, but Jason's currently in 2nd and Twilight's in the pits, so there could be movement there. What we got here, Dave the Harp closing up on Conrad as Jason closed up on Demon R, but Steve F1 looks like he's dropping away a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like he's dropping away, and SRI isn't making any advances towards Steve F1, so kind of a wee bit settling down at the front. We'll see how it goes on throughout the course of the laps as we see. Is that SGP battling with Gary?
It is, yeah. Well, I was about to say, what would be interesting would be to see what tyres people are on. SGP's on the racing soft tyre. It's the harder compound. Maybe that's why he didn't have the best of starts, and he's now in this battle with the harder compound tyre. He's just going to have to... Well, he's got 2 options here, Ray. 1, push like mad and get off him as soon as possible. Or 2, don't push and just look after them and stay on them for as long as possible.
I don't know, because he's in...
Oh, he was nearly in the wall. Rich was, and Hay was, so go on.
Because he's in the pack, like... It's not, I don't think he's going to be battling quite a lot in the pack. I'd be thinking of ditching him, getting clean air, and hopefully undercut the pack, and then maybe have to change my pit strategy about.
Yeah, quite possible. I think you might be right, yeah. Dave Harp's dived into the pits. Now, the tyre wear around this track, I wouldn't say it's severe, but it can be a little bit rough. I think around about 7 laps, the drivers should be okay. However, if drivers are braking too late or shifting too quickly, the car will slide and it will kill the tyres. Or if you hit Mitch's bomb hole, yeah, they'll get right messy. Formula Gary now, he's in 6th place, so he's kind of taken over from Dave in the position behind Conrad, but Conrad's got a bit of a gap. And on the pack cam, Steve F1 behind Jason. So talking strategy a little bit, Ray, I think most drivers should be able to do a 2-stop strategy here, but with Twilight and David Harp already pitting, I ain't got a clue what they're doing. Jimmy, he's got great tyre wear, and he's on the soft tyre, and he's making a move on Gary. Woo!
Yeah, as we see Rich cutting the grass.
Absolutely.
As you go 3 wide. Oh no, it's 2 wide, it was just a camera angle. SGP going for a move on Jimmy. Jimmy lost there. I thought he was going for a move on Gary.
Yeah, he kind of was. Maybe he's just looking after those tyres because he is on the racing softs. Also, Jimmy will... Oh, Gary! Oh! Yeah, well, 2 laps in a row, we've seen someone clip Mitch's bomb hole. It's not a big surprise. We're 6 minutes in, and interestingly, the leaders heading up towards the start-finish line as the pack is only just in the final corner. So I think you might be right. I think SGP may be better off ditching this strategy because I think he's already lost too much time. Ooh, here we go. 4 wide, 3 wide.
Yeah, because everybody's into the first corner. They're just coming up to the kink, so they're about, what, 5 5 seconds behind, 5, 6 seconds
Oh,
behind. Jimmy!
Oh dear. I mean, this thing, Twilight's caught up to the back of this pack now. So if SGP did pit, I mean, maybe he'll pit in 3 minutes' time and switch up the strategy to a 3-stop. I don't know. I mean, you would think if he's on the Rich's tyres, well, actually, Rich's tyres looking how I would kind of expect to see them from someone that's not had a lot of practice. So yeah, he's on lap 5. He'll get a couple more laps out of those if he wants to, if he can look after him. Gary, though, struggling a little bit since he hit Mitch's bomb hole.
Yeah, just the tyres overheated and maybe a wee bit dirty, but hopefully you can get them squared up and get them back into operating temperature as we see Rich having a wee squirrel on the brakes there.
Yep, hey, maybe to make a move. No, can't quite get up alongside Gary on this occasion. SGP's trying to break on me. Okay, this is a phase where actually, you know what, maybe now for SGP, maybe this could work for him because he'll have fresher tyres than those around him. Those around him are going to start struggling. He may be able to breach a bit of a gap. Up at the front though, Demon R's still got a gap to Jason. Jason's got Steve F1 right up his chuff. How are their tyres? Well, Demon R's not far off what Rich's were. Jason's got really good wear. Steve F1's on him. Go on.
Nothing, I was listening.
Oh, I thought you was getting ready to say something, but yeah, Jason's got really good tyre wear. Steve F1, not too bad, so maybe he's just looking after them a little bit. That's all right. Again, yeah, they're fine. Conrad punished a little bit more. I'm not surprised by that. Conrad hasn't really had much practice, and we know he likes to push it real good. Oh, SRI with a rear end wobble, and interestingly, SGP is now closing in, but Twilight, who pitted 4 minutes ago, has caught him back up with fresh tyres, although he is on the racing softs.
Yeah, did the Hart not pit early as well? Or?
Yeah, he did, yeah. I'm wondering if something else must have happened to Dave, because I think he's considerably further back as Conrad, locking up a couple of times down into the hairpin. That will hurt those front. I'm wondering if he's got his brake bias set quite far to the front, or a bit to the front. Twilight got a... Was it Twilight? No, it's SRI, sorry, getting a little bit wobbly. Not as wobbly as Connor just did. I wouldn't be surprised if Conrad dives into the pits now.
Oh, Twilight's cut the wall in the background there.
Oh, dear.
He's still going. Just lost a wee bit of time to SGP.
Okay, are any of these guys going to pit for the 10 minutes? Yes, Jason. Ooh.
Jason's in the pit, so that releases Steve F1. SRI's in the pits. Conrad's in the pits.
Okay, so it'd be obvious then to say looks like they're on the 3-stop strategy, doesn't it? Gary and Twilight side by side heading into Demon's elbow. Gary with the much more worn tyres. Yep, and there you go. Yep. I thought Twilight had backed out of it. He hadn't. Gary just couldn't stop by the looks of it. But yeah, it's unfortunate there.
Oh, he's spun in the background.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the wall.
Oh, Gary, oh, Gary. Now, Jason, who was second.
Gary Wall. Gary Wall.
It's the witness wall. So Jason, who was second, pitted, he's now in 5th, isn't going to get a big benefit of boost coming out into 5th place. But what he has got is fresh tyres. It'll be interesting to see. This is interesting. Conrad in between Jimmy and Gary. Dave Harp is there on the racing soft tyres. So I think Dave's pitted again, looking at how fresh those racing softs look. Oh, this could be interesting.
SRI and Hay side by side, but as we go to the leaders.
Yeah, Steve F1 has really closed in on Demon R. Now, what'll be interesting here is whether either of these guys pit now to cover off those that have pitted on 10 minutes, or whether they're going to keep Demon R heading over to the pit lane. No, he's not. Oh, he's a dummy. Oh.
I must have seen that Steve F1 wasn't going to go and pit, so...
Well, why would he stay out?
He'd probably try to match the same pit strategy as Steve F1, and that way it's a straight battle.
Yeah, I think you could be absolutely right. SGP's got Twilight on the back of him on the pack cam. Steve F1 hasn't quite got past Demon R yet. Demon R's tyres, you can tell they're suffering now as he begins to wobble. See how he gets on with the traction. Oh, a little wobbly, but they both were there. Twilight SGP. Twilight gets through in Brokeback. SRI and Conrad continue their battle. Oh, Conrad up the inside into Brokeback. Has he got the move done? Just about. Steve F1 all over the back of Demon R.
SRI's just staying a wee bit ahead as we come into the S's, but it seems like Conrad's just falling behind SRI there now.
Oh, Demon R's gone a little bit deep at the hairpin. Steve F1 having a look, can't quite get it done. I think as well it's possible that Demon R was thinking, you know, if for the two-stop strategy to work.
Conrad's went for the move in the hairpin. Is he going deep? He's gone deep, but where's SRI? Can't see SRI, can't see Conrad.
Steve F1's trying to make a move on Demon R around the outside for the lead. As I was mentioning, if you want to do the two, Demon R's late on the brakes, or just tyres hurting, or is it a ploy to do another lap, or pit behind, so they're both heading to the pits. But I think, Ray, it was a case of, to make the two-stop work, pitting the lap before wouldn't really have worked, so we'll see how they get on. But I also think you're right, straight up battle between those two. What have we got up at the front then?
Twilight leading, SGP not that far behind with his worn tyres.
They're not looking that good though.
Conrad and SRI battling.
And right behind them, but Gary just made a move. Gary trying to make a move on Hay. It wasn't, Hay's come back at him. But SGP's tyres were not that much better than Demon R and Steve F1, so I'm not sure his strategy. Oh, someone's off! Oh, Dave! Oh.
Dave's off as well. Oh, has he saved it? He has.
He has just about. He's managed to just about get away with it. Although Demon R and Steve F1 now closing in. What a place to catch the pack with their fresh tyres, doing a bit of a switchback, switcheroonie. Oh, 3 wide.
Steve F1 went in the back of somebody and that let Demon R get ahead. So Demon R's made 2 places, Steve F1 still in the wars.
Ooh, he manages to squeeze through though. Maybe just having the slightly fresher tyres, and in a way I think it was critical that he did that, otherwise it'd have been a good 2 or 3 cars behind Demon R. Demon R now behind Dave the Op tagging a barrier. We saw Dave get sideways as well. And I think Dave's had a bit of a moment into the barrier. Steve F1 closing in. Up at the front though, Jason and SGP battling, but Demon R making the move on Dave the Op. Is Steve F1 going to follow him? Yes he is. Oh, this is fascinating.
Somebody into the pits, SGP's into the pits.
That he is.
Dave the Hart's back into the pits. That's about right if he pitted 5 minutes, so he's went 10 minutes now. On his next set of tyres. As we see Steve F1 and Demon R side by side, down past the elbow.
Steve F1, is he going to get the move done? Yes he is, through he goes, but looking for a switchback. Hay closing in as well. Is Demon R going to force it up the inside? No, he's not. Gary, it was that headed into the pits. I've got to say, Steve F1's just gone a little bit deep.
Yeah, he's got that inside line covered, so can Demon R go around the outside, coming up the S's? It looks like he's just following, getting a different line. He's waiting for the switchback, get it up, but he's had a wiggle.
He has. I think you were right. He was taking a different line to get the run. He's actually got a run, but Conrad's closing in on Twilight for a second. He's going for it. Oh, no, he's not. Steve F1 holds on as well. This is absolutely... Twilight!
Sideways.
You know what that was, don't you?
Oh, yeah. He's coming in hot, going out cold.
So Jason leading the way, Conrad in second place. Now let's not forget, Jason pitted after 10 minutes, so I'd expect to see him in the pits in another 3 minutes. Hay trying to make a move on Jimmy here, and interestingly, Hay, I was saving that one. Hayes heading into the pit lane. That frees up Jimmy and Rich to have their little fight. And yeah, so what have we got? So where's SGP after his ties? It's not really worked for him, has it? Rich Blues still battling with Jimmy, and SGP is somewhere behind them as Demon R and Steve F1 now pushing on. Now, interestingly, Ray, for these two, I mean, do these two fight it out here now, or is this a point where they should be looking after the ties?
Maybe they work together to try and catch up with SRI and Conrad. Maybe get a few more places before they start fighting. If they start fighting now, it's going to bring them back to the pack.
Yeah, quite possibly. But at the same time, I mean, there's a long way to go in this race yet. Just over 20 minutes. Demon R having a look, but not really forcing the issue. I mean, just to sort of re-emphasise what the situation is. Oh, Demon R went for a switchback. They're not going to go side by side, are they, Free Richards? But what are they doing? You don't go doing this when the championship's on the line. Holy cow. Oh, yep. Code blown.
Yep.
Bloody hell.
Oh, somebody locked up at the front. I think that was Conrad.
It might have been SRI closing in on the back of him. Now, I wouldn't expect to see those two in the pits again for until the end of this next lap. But yeah, SRI got a good run. See that on the pack cam. And if anyone's wondering why we are looking at a bit at Steve F1 and Demon R, obviously there is a championship battle going on between those two, which I do want to... Oh, we're going for the move. Now, you said, Ray, there's not much point in them battling, but I don't think they're listening.
We'll need to be careful because they could end up in the clutches of the pack again.
Maybe it's kind of like it's a bit of a game of chess at the moment where it's looking at who's quicker in what play. Like when it comes down to the nitty gritty in about 10-15 minutes time, who may be able to overtake where, or where's the best place to defend. So maybe there's a bit of cat and mouse going on. But Demon R, there's a bit more than a cat and mouse there. SRI all over the back of Conrad. Yeah, I do sort of want to mention because I've not really got through it yet. Demon R is 3 points behind Steve F1. If Steve F1 finishes ahead of Demon R in any way, shape or form, Steve F1 is a 7-time champion. However, if Demon R wins the race, he wins the championship, even if Steve F1 finishes second, because although they'd be tied on points, Demon R would have more wins. Now, if Demon R finishes in second place and Steve F1 finishes in third, I think again they might be tied on points. I'm not exactly sure. But really, Demon R is going to need cars between him and Steve F1 unless he's winning the race. So that's sort of what the situation is regarding the championship.
SRI's went into the pits, so he's doing an undercut on Conrad.
Ooh.
But then Conrad might will have the opportunity to go for that lap longer into the last 10 minutes that might just be crucial for the end of the race.
Could well be. Jason didn't pit either, and he pitted after 10 minutes initially. But the thing is, I suppose it's one of those things, Ray, if you're up at the front or in the first couple of positions like Jason and Connor are, and you pitted after 10 minutes, if you've got decent tyre life and you feel you can do another lap, it's not going to hurt you really that much to do the extra lap. It's only, I think, if your tyres are a bit knackered that doing the extra lap's going to really hurt you. SRI, though, as you say, should get the undercut on Conrad and Jason and Demon R and Steve F1. So it'll be very interesting to see where Conrad comes out. Looking at Demon R's tyres, though, they're looking good. So are Steve F1's. And they've been on them for, 7 minutes? So I can't see them pitting anytime soon. Oh, who was that? Twilight, was it? Yep, having a cheeky little look up the inside of Davey Hart. Saw that he was Scouse and thought, I'll go for this.
But and then how many minutes is... They're going to have to at least take it to past the 15-minute mark to get to the end, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Damon Arms, Steve F1.
Yeah, they want to be getting to minute 26 or 27 to get to the end. Twilight being repassed now by Dave the Harm, as Hay having a look as well. What a race we've got going on. Twilight trying to do a switchback. Hay's tyres looking pretty good as well. So did Jason pit? No, Conrad did. Jason's going to lose out. What would Jason be thinking here? Is Twilight going for the move? Is he? Hey, whoa!
Having a wiggle on the elbow there, but he's got it slowed down. And Twilight's to try and get a switcheroo. He's got the inside line for, I don't know, Demon's elbow. Is it Demon's? No,
Demon's elbow. No, Demon's elbow's the chicane. Oh, 3 wide. Oh, hey, is it going to be a Code Brown moment? Yes, it is.
I wonder what that was.
But the thing is, because you've now seen that there's some things there, I was setting up a joke from before we even come online. Remember I was saying like, oh, my stomach's a bit dodgy? Well, part way through I was just going to go, oh, you know what, I'm not feeling too good, Ray. Oh no! And then see what your reaction was, but you've seen that those were there.
Runs in the family,
runs. Oh, boom, boom. Fucking hell. Pun time over here. Oh, Demon got a little bit wobbly. He heard your joke and, nearly spat his cup of tea out the window. Steve F1 got a run and making the move. Jason, I'm surprised that Jason didn't pit when the others have, unless he's, I don't know, maybe it's a 2-stop strategy for Jason with a short first stint. SGP, though, has got himself back into this race now, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's a pitted. He has pitted.
He has pitted,
once,
yeah.
What tyres is? Do we know what tyres he's on?
I'm not sure. Demon R going for the move through into Demon's elbow, and ahead he gets. Now, what you will see is interesting with Demon R and Steve F1 is, although they're doing a lot of sort of overtaking and repassing, or SGP's he's still on the soft tyre. Instead of the super soft. Yeah, you will see Demon R and Steve F1 or on occasion give up a fight for a better exit and to fight a little later on. It's quite an interesting driving style. But yeah, SGP's right back in this now. And to be honest, I don't think Steve F1 will want another car in his mirrors, potentially in the battle here.
No, I'm just watching the pack cam. Conrad's caught up to the back of SRI.
How many times have we said that today? But yeah, I mean, Conrad, three undercuts, or 2 undercuts nearly. Twilight's closing as well. SGP's got ahead of Steve F1. Oh, this is interesting. Is anybody, I'm curious now, Ray, whether anybody here is going to try and jump the gun a little bit and perhaps try and do a 15-minute stint at the end. Bear in mind, Jason is now on a 15-minute stint he's just completing. I don't know when he's going to pit, but Demon R or Steve F1.
He's gone for the pits.
Oh, yeah, he is. Jason is. SGP making the move on Demon R. Interesting. Neither of Demon R or Steve F1 going for the pits. Oh, this is fascinating. Okay, what we've got now is SGP out of nowhere leading the race. Demon R sort of battling with him. These three, I think, are on a 2-stop strategy. So these three have got to pit again, but probably not for another 2 or 3 minutes. Right behind these is Twilight, and he's going to have to pit again. But then we've got Conrad and SRI, who we know are on the 3-stop strategy. They're going to have to pit again. There's going to be a lot changing in this race in the next 5 minutes, folks. And the next 15 minutes. Twilight is closing in on this front 3.
Yeah, and Conrad's closing in on Twilight and bringing SRI. SRI didn't seem to fight Conrad's overtake, so that's a first.
Maybe it's tactical. What's Steve F1 going to do? Is he going to follow? The thing is, these guys are going to be pitting soon. I mean, does he follow and do the opposite? Or Demon R's gone deep! I think that might be tyres suffering a bit there. Or is it tactical?
So a couple of times Demon R's went deep there. We see them all gathering up together now.
Oh,
It
yeah.
won't be long till it's one big straight line unless people start pitting.
Well, this is the thing. I can imagine seeing SGP Steve
Twilight's
F.
going for a move
he
on.
is.
Demonar's going for the inside.
You see, I think Demonar's tyres may have gone off a little bit, but if they have,
Conrad's going for the move.
ooh, yeah, up the inside. Or Demonar doing a switchback. Oh no, it's not. It's a switch to the pits. SGP's in the pits. They're all in the pits. Demonar, Steve F1, Twilight. That has not worked out well for Demonar there. Conrad now leading.
13 minutes, so if these guys pitted 10 minutes, they're going to have 3 minutes fresher tyres. I would just see how their pace would be.
Yeah, well, interestingly, Jimmy making a move on Gary behind these two. Has he got through? I don't think he has.
Conrad's up in 2 wheels there.
Jimmy
He thought
has.
he was riding a bike.
Jimmy did just manage to get past Gary. Gary trying to come back at him. Jimmy sliding a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, these guys, Conrad and SRI's tyres, aren't that knackered. But those that have just pitted are all going to be on fresh tyres. But then when these guys pit, they'll be on fresh tyres. But yeah, I mean, as I was mentioning as well, for Demonar, that was a half a lap that was a disaster. Went deep at the hairpin as Jason and someone are battling. It's Gary. Jason gets through. So Jason pitting after with 15 minutes to go, got a bit of a jump on those other leading cars. Is he going to go side by side with Jimmy? Oh no, he's not. I don't blame him.
I wouldn't advise it, especially Mitch's bumhole when we know Jimmy loves going sideways.
Absolutely. Demonar on the pack cam behind Twilight. So Jason, I think, is still net leader. Excuse me, but he's got a long stint going on here. Dave the Arp's making a move on Gary. Jason makes the move on Jimmy. I think Dave and Gary are going to need to pit again. Gary's going into the pits now. This is fascinating. Oh, wow. So Dave carries on. So Jason's there, Jimmy's there. Jason does not want to be re-attacked, does he? Then we've got Rich Blues, Hay and SGP. So of those guys that all pitted together, SGP's at the head of that pack. Yeah, I've just seen that on the pack cam. Managed to make the move on Hay there. But this is an interesting scenario as well, where those that have recently pitted cannot afford to be held up at any point here. But they've got to fight for their position.
Rich isn't fighting for his position. He's went from the front of that group to the back. Don't know if his tyres were giveaway or he was just out as SJP came for the overtake. He was just out of line and couldn't get back online.
I paid him his scampi, that's what it is. On the pack cam, Steve F1 behind Hay and Demon right behind him, and Twilight there as well. I mean, this is 3 wide. Hay backs out of that. You know what? I think that's a right, well, not a right decision, a wise decision. Twilight can't quite get the switch back done. This is fascinating stuff. So, those that pitted, we've now got SGP ahead of Steve F1, ahead of Demon R. Hay into the barrier. Maybe Hay's. Tyres are hurting. And maybe that's why he didn't fight it into the braking zone. Twilight, he's in this battle as well. But Jason's up the road a little bit. This is fascinating, Steve F1 making a move on Jimmy. Sorry that I can't let you get a word in much here, Ray. Come on.
No, that's good. Jimmy's going for the pits. He's very late going into the pits. I'm surprised he's not hit the pit wall.
Well, the thing is, Conrad and SRI haven't pitted yet. Steve F1 making a move on SGP. Into Demon's elbow. Side by side they go. That's going to allow Demon R to get close. Steve F1 backs out of it. Is there a switchback going on here? This is exciting. I can't imagine what's going through the drivers' minds at the moment, other than what shall I watch while I'm cracking one off later. Hey! In Hay's mind it was off, but not over here again.
He was doing a hop, skip and a jump. He was doing a long jump.
Yeah, call him Jonathan Edwards or SGP. Trying to make a move on Dave. And this is where if Dave's tyres are hurting, Dave won't be able to do anything about it. Demon R's got to run on Steve F1 because Steve F1's kind of caught behind Dave. And he does get through. Come on.
That's the second time Steve F1's lost out on that hill trying to overtake people. But Steve F1's going up the inside. He's not backing down, and here comes Twilight.
Ooh, forwards! You don't normally go forward. And somehow they survived.
Twilight's not giving in. He's got in the front of these two now.
He has. Oh, well, this is the thing now. In this kind of situation, I think David R's going to be pitting soon anyway. But for the likes of Steve F1 and Demon R, for Steve F1, he's okay. In this kind of position, all he has to do is finish just in front or just behind Demon R, and he beats him. Conrad into the pitch.
It's all right. And Conrad into the pitch, yeah. And who's that? Is that Hay going in the pits?
I think it is.
I think it was.
Yeah, David Harp isn't. Oh, Demon R bump drafting Dave. So Twilight did get ahead of Dave as well. Is Demon R going to be able to make the move? Steve F1's trying round the other side, but no, it's covered off. Is he going to be able to follow up the inside? No, he'll go for the switchback, will he? Will he? Oh, penis.
I don't know, is he?
He's not been able to get through.
You also want to watch going side by side into that wee king, because if the person on the inside hits that curb, it's going to bounce him across as Dave the Harp goes deep and loses 2 places.
Yep.
Who's that?
It's Gary. So Gary, after recently pitting, is now on the back of Steve F1. And this is kind of what I was trying to get at with Steve F1 and Demon R with the championship fight. If one or two cars get between Demon R and Steve F1, that changes what could happen in the top of the standings. At the moment, though, Jason, he's leading the race. He's doing brilliantly. He's heading up towards Mitchell's bottom hole now. SGP, I think he's closing in on him a little bit. Then we've got Twilight. Demon R closing in on Twilight. Steve F1, Formula Gary closing in on Steve F1. And then Dave the Harper, I think, still has to pit.
Yeah, Twilight just cut to wall there. Now Demon R, is he going to go round outside, or is he going to line him up for a switchback? Oh, Twilight's defending that inside line, he can't get a switchback, so he's going to have to drive it round the outside him, which he does.
That's a nice move there.
Jason's still going. Jason's tyres are not too bad.
Yeah.
SGP's are great. Demon R's okay. Twilight's is fantastic.
Yeah.
Steve F1's good.
Yeah, Howard Garris. Oh, well, Twilight. Twilight coming back at Demon R down into turn 1. Can't quite get it. Oh, Steve F1. I think Steve F1 knows he can't afford to have cars between himself and Demon R. But you have to be so careful side by side. This is what you was on about with that inside curb, isn't it? Oh, Demon R took a lot of curb there, but at least he didn't bounce all the way across the road.
There's SRI and... Is that Conrad?
It is, yes. So, coming into the party now then, Gary has been passed by Conrad. So, although Gary had fresher tyres than those, car ahead, SRI's got past him as well. Gary hasn't got fresher tyres than Conrad.
Side by side.
Yeah, that they are. Oh, Twilight is dropped down there, so Steve F1 has managed to get past. Here comes Conrad. Conrad's got a right good run on Twilight. Oh my days. And on the pack cam, SGP's on the back of Jason. And the whole pack is on the back of Demon R. Oh, I don't think I could watch.
5 minutes to go.
Oh, SGP's pushing. Jason's tyres are in good condition. 5 minutes to go. I think he'll be all right. But SGP is just like munching that gap down and going to go for a switchback.
I thought he just went a wee bit too deep, but it looks like he's trying to get that run. So we see Conrad side by side with who was it?
It was Steve F1.
Steve F1.
Yeah.
Gary and Estoraya were having a battle as well.
SGP, is he going to go for the move? Is Jason going to defend? I can see Jason not defending this, but being good on the brakes. SGP on the harder compound tyre. He's not going to have the traction out of the corners, and that'll show right now. Steve F1 manages to fend off Conrad as SGP and Jason side by side. Jason with a little bit of lag there, and SGP giving him the room. Ooh, yep. Be careful.
Conrad up the inside of SGP, Steve F1, sorry, but he's went deep. Is he able to hold? He is able to hold it.
He has, yeah. Now, with these fresher tyres, Is Steve F1 going to be able to do anything about that with 4 minutes to go? As Demon R is now closing in on SGP and Jason. So if we thought that Jason had this in the bag or SGP was going to steal it, could Demon R come and steal it off the both of them? He needs the win to confirm the championship. Steve F1 on the back cam, giving Conrad a little bit of a bump draft. Oh, and Conrad getting... Now, I was going to say as well, Jimmy and Gary all over the back of SRI. Why would Steve F1 give Conrad a bump draft? Because Steve F1 needs Conrad to get ahead of Demon R. Interesting to know. Oh!
Yeah.
I thought Jason was in the wall then. It was lag.
Alright. As we said, yeah. Conrad's going. Conrad's looking.
Yep, so is SGP. Oh no, SGP's got deep! You don't want to go down there, Conrad. Makes the move. There's a little bit of contact. I don't think there's much in that, to be honest. So Conrad and Demon R get through. That's now put SGP between Steve F1 and Demon R. And here comes Jimmy, the pack. The pack is mental and they're closing in. Demon R closing in on Conrad as well.
Steve F1 trying to make a move on SGP.
Look at the pack.
He's
Look at the
got
pack. Oh!
It's alright. I think you had a brown moment there.
Absolutely. Dave Harp and Jimmy side by side battling it out. So up at the front now then we've got Jason, who's got a little bit of a breather because SGP's not there. But Conrad's now closing in on him. Demon R has still got Steve F1 right behind him. I don't think Demon R and Steve F1 can do anything about Conrad with his fresh tyres.
No, and what they're going to have to watch is if SRI comes as well, because he pitted the same time as Conrad.
Well, true. Look at the pack cam. Conrad's rapidly closing in on Jason. He's not going to be able to get him down at the hairpin, but I think by the final corner he's going to be close. The pack, Hay and Jimmy battling side by side behind SRI. Steve F1 is still behind Demon R, but he won't mind that. That's all he needs. Jimmy and Hay sideways. Oh, Jason and Connor nearly go side by side.
A wee bit of wiggle. Connor seemed to get a better exit out of the Mitch bump.
Yep, I think Connor's this. I mean, I don't think there's going to be much Jason can do. I mean, let's not forget, Jason pitted with 15 minutes to go. Connor pitted with about 8 minutes to go. So Conrad through then into the lead of the race. Can Jason do anything about it? I mean, Jason's tyres aren't too bad. We're going to have one more lap. One more lap. I'm going to have a beer.
Depends how much he battles and how late he breaks. It might suffer his tyres as we see the two fighting for the championship, still fighting all race up. Oh, what's happened to Pack Cam? Somebody hit the wall?
Yeah, quite possibly. It might have been Jimmy, or Jimmy hit someone. Steve F1 very nearly got past Demon R there, and Demon R really can't. Go on.
SRI's on the back of SJP now.
Look at Steve F1's tyres, they look quite hurt. Oh yeah, SRI is on the back of SGP. And Demon R's closing in on the back of Jason on the pack cam. We've got a three-way battle with Rich, Twilight and Hay. Steve F1 all over the back of Demon R. There's too much going on to watch. SGP's closing in. Is Steve F1 going to go for it down into the hairpin? He doesn't need to, but will he want to? He's not gone for it. On the pack cam they are though.
SGP's deep. SRI's through.
Yeah, he is. Oh, excuse me. Conrad headed into Mitch's bombhole for the final time, I believe. Yeah, we're at the 40-minute clock now. Jason coming through the exit of Mitch's bombhole. This is, so close. Demon R's closing in on Jason. SRI's closing in on Steve. Jason's going defensive. He's going defensive. Is Demon R going to go around the outside? Steve F1 having a look up the inside. SRI around the outside. Demon R's past Jason. It's Steve F1 on the inside. No, there's a bit of SRI's come around the outside. And the first time he's come on the outside. Holy, can Demon R's through? And Steve F1 is down in fourth. And my microphone's just been spat on more than ever before. Holy cow. By the way, Connor won the race. Holy cow. Wow. Okay, I need to quickly recap what happened there. So Conrad winning the race. A brilliant result for him. Jason was in second place. I think he had a bad exit from the bombhole. Demon R gets the run on him towards the final corner. Heading into that final corner, Ray, Steve F1's champion. because he's right behind Demon R. Demon R makes the move on Jason. That makes Demon R champion. Steve F1 tries to make the move on Jason as well. Doesn't quite work. SRI comes round the outside, passes Jason, passes Steve F1, dropping Steve F1 to 4th. Demon R becomes champion. Holy cow. And I think, I could be wrong, I think had SRI not got past Steve F1, I think Demon R would still be champion. But SRI stole that position from him anyway and absolutely bloody loved it, I'm sure. But what a race. Holy cow.
Did Steve F1 not have to just finish behind you?
Once it depends on let's see, I just need to confirm what points people get. Oh dear. Give me a second. Oh, with it being a 3-point gap, if they ended up tied on points, Demon R wins. No, it would have been a count back on wins and second places, which I think Demon R would have won. Or at least if Demon R would have won this race and Steve F1 finished second, they'd have been tied on points, but with Demon R winning 4 races. Okay, so let's just to recap. So excited about this. So the victory, if you win, you get 20 points. Second place is 17 points.
17.
So had Steve F1 finished in 3rd place, you're absolutely right, Ray. Steve F1 would have been champion because it would have only been a 2-point gain that Demon R got. So yeah, I think Demon R owes SRI a few non-alcoholic beverages because without that overtake at the end, Steve F1 would have been champion. Wow. SGP unfortunately dropped down to 6th place. Twilight, I think we saw him on the grass at the end. I don't know if he was pushed there. I doubt he chose to go there, but yeah, Twilight finished in 7th, Hay in 8th, Dave 9th, Formula Gary in 10th. Such unlucky for Gary. With about 5 minutes to go, he looked like he was in the hunt. I mean, he was behind Steve F1, wasn't he, with the fresh tyres, and then came along Conrad and SRI and spoiled that party. Rich Blues in 11th, Jimmy in 12th, but what a way to finish the season.
Yeah, that went right down to the line. That one did.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a championship decided in the final corner or the final straight at the final race. That's absolutely bonkers. I mean, it's so bonkers. I knew what happened, and I still got excited watching it. I mean, that was...
Twilight went to go round outside, but SGP had a kind of moment coming out of the corner and kind of went a wee bit too wide, and yeah.
Oh dear.
We'll see if it gets sent to the page.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, something I want to do now. While we're doing commentary, obviously there hasn't been any at this point. I don't know if there's been any reports been made, but what I want to sort of quickly do, Ray, is I mean we've already mentioned what the race result was there. I just want to mention what that result may have done for a few drivers in the standings. So I just want to get me images ready here. So Conrad.
Yeah, I'm just checking the page while you're doing that.
Okay. So Conrad. Let me just get another picture here. Conrad.
Nothing on the page.
Okay,
Nothing
was in 8th place in the standings, but by winning this race, he has jumped above Formula Gary. No, he was jumped above Dave the Harp. He's only gained 1 place, but the amount of points he's gained is huge. You're so close. Jason has dropped a place because of SRI's finishing position. So SRI was 6th with Jason 5th in the standings. So it was 77 points, 76 points to 73 points to Dave the Harp. So SRI, with that sneaky move, not only on Steve F1, but also Jason at the end, improved his own position in the standings, bumps Jason down to 6th place and himself up to 5th place. Twilight was fairly safe, you would think, in 4th place in the standings. He had an 8-point gap over Jason, but by the end of that race, only had a 4-point gap over SRI. But I also want to mention Formula Gary finishing in 9th place in the standings. He was in 9th already, but a fantastic season for Gary. It's been a difficult one for him with moving and buying houses and internet and stuff like that. Because let's not forget, I think there was a couple of weeks where he didn't have internet, wasn't there?
Yeah. 2 to 3 races.
Yeah. Art Powell, he's missed the last 2 or 3 races with no internet after moving as well. Bob,
He jumped him in the standings.
yeah, he did by 1 point. Hayes got up there, so well done to Hay.
He's jumped Bob as well.
Yeah. Bob unable to. Interestingly, I think in the last race that Bob raced, I think something might have clicked with him. Either that or he just hadn't smoked as much, where he was racing considerably better than he had been doing previously. And one thing Bob will hopefully notice is the more room and space he gives to others, the more room and space he'll get, and the better racing he'll then have. And we've seen that he's got a bit of speed, so it'd be very interesting to see how he gets on. Bob,
the first time he goes.
Yeah. Rich and Bob now tied on points, both in 12th place on 45 points each. I think Rich has had a brilliant championship. What I like about Rich's championship this season, and we saw it a lot last season, was you mentioned a bit in this race where he didn't seem to be fighting, but I think his tyres had already gone. We've seen him putting up a lot more of a fight in this championship. He's not afraid if he's got an SGP, a Steve F1, and he might be afraid with an SRI behind him. But yeah, so I like the fact that he's been really putting the battles out there.
Nah, I don't think he wasn't fighting. What it was is when he came down to that kinky, because SGP went on the inside, he was kind of offline, and then he came through, so it seemed as if he was offline, and he just didn't want to turn back in straight away, and he dropped quite a few positions before he could get back into that line.
Yeah, I think you could be absolutely right there. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, what
he has been doing. He's been doing the past couple of seasons as he has been up and he's fighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
With other drivers.
Absolutely. And Jimmy, unfortunately missed a few races as well, but another entertaining season from Jimmy, that's for certain. But I mean, I must admit, I'm quite worn out after doing commentary there, but there's one thing I love about DGT League, and that is it doesn't lack for action. And I know last week's commentary was a bit of an awkward one for us because it was on a different day. We'd had technical issues and it wasn't our normal routine. But I think the race before, I wouldn't say it was dull. There were a couple of races where there were some quiet moments before the storm, whereas this race today was just action from the start all the way through, non-stop to the end.
Finish, yeah.
Yeah,
it was quite a lot going on.
Yeah. Okay, there's a couple of shout outs I want to give. Thank
There's
you.
a question I want to ask you.
All right, go on.
So since what did you say to the drivers at the meeting?
I've probably said lots of things. It depends. What do you mean? Which things
Well,
specifically?
there's more of them jumping in the chat parties now that we didn't normally.
To be
So
honest,
I don't know. Was the meeting? Was it the meeting just broke that awkwardness? Like, you know, when you come into a chat party and you don't know what to say. Or...
yes, definitely. One thing I'll say is, I mean, we had the meet up for Donington, and it was an absolutely brilliant weekend. It's a massive shame you weren't able to be there, Ray. And we do appreciate the gift that you gave. And I mean, on the Saturday, we met up. To be honest, I was quite rushed on that day. I hadn't got anywhere near as much stuff organised as I should have done. So, like, I'd arranged for us to go and play crazy golf, but it was crazy golf in a over 18s only sex dungeon, basically. So, and no one knew that. They just knew we were going crazy golf. Now, we were half hour, 40 minutes late for that. So I was stressing a bit. And also because we were late, we were kind of stuck behind a couple of groups, and we did have to end it earlier than expected. But we had such a laugh doing that crazy golf. It just absolutely broke everything. I mean, because we were... Basically, it started off with we were all met up at SGP's, and Jason and Dave got there early. I think Connor was there really early. Get this right. So, Jason's first real welcome to England was given to him by Steve's daughter Holly, who they sat in the garden. Steve, Jason, this is SGP, Jason, Dave the Arp, and Connor. And SGP's like, does anyone want a drink? And Jason's like, yeah, I'll have a drink. Have you got any beers? And he's like, yeah, sure. Holly, can you do me a favour? You can grab Jason a beer. So what does Holly do? She grabs Jason a beer. What do you think happened when Jason opened said beer?
I don't know. They say, what the fuck's this?
No. Holly had shook the fucker up, hadn't she? Jason opens it, it's fucking goes everywhere. It's like, welcome to England, Jason. But it is those little things like that would have made actually Jason feel that more comfortable. It would have also have made Holly and Claire more comfortable, and because it can be awkward going round to a stranger's house. I mean, we've known Jason for over 10 years. We'd never met. And it is still nervy.
He hardly spoke.
Well, yeah, true.
Spoke as well.
Yeah.
What if he wasn't a funny type guy and he get pissed off?
Oh, well, yeah. Thankfully, I think that's one of the reasons why Jason's hung around with us, is that he's got our sense of humour.
Yeah. That's what the guys have. They have.
Yeah.
We all have kind of similar sense of humours where we bounce off each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what it did as well. I mean, so like I say, Saturday we went for the crazy golf, and it was an absolute blast. It really was. It was absolutely hilarious. We went from there, went to a world buffet, and to be honest, I've been a few times, and sometimes the food's been okay. This time the food was bang on. The company was bang. I mean, not that the company's been bad before, but the whole atmosphere, it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, let's put it this way. Gary turned up knackered and starving. He left on the Sunday knackered and unable to eat anymore, so we succeeded there. Jason, we found out you can't get carling in Sweden, so Jason ended up taking a load of carling back with him. But we had an absolute brilliant day, and then on a brilliant night, and then on the Sunday, although a few of us felt a little bit worse for wear in the morning, just chilling out and taking the piss, just like we would online, it was comfortable. There was no awkwardness to any of it. And you bear in mind as well, Donington's right by East Midlands Airport. Every time a plane took off, everyone was going, Jason, is that you? Or every time someone made a mistake, sorry, Dave. And it was just constant all day. The food, I mean, the guy said the food we did on the barbecue was good. I can only go off my own experience. The steaks were absolutely fucking lovely. But even that, having some good food, like greasy burgers, but yeah, it was good. We nearly blew up a gas fire. Like it literally went up in flames. Dave jumped out of his van with a fire extinguisher like a Ghostbuster. But it really was brilliant. And a knock-on effect of that was a lot of, I won't say tensions, but any tensions that were building up at any time prior to us meeting up at Donny were gone after Donny. And Conrad summed it up perfectly in a message he sent the other day. And I just want to go and read it if I can find it, because I don't want to misquote him. But yes, I mean, feel free to...
Yeah, that would be awkward.
Yeah, well, yeah, it fucking would, yeah. Okay, let's go back a bit here. Oh, I'm exhausted.
Did they send it to you or the page or?
No, it was in the DGT chat. I just need to get back to it.
Oh, was it the meetup chat or the drivers?
Oh, you know what? It might have been the meetup chat.
Yeah, I'm not in that one.
Yeah, okay, give me a second. Where's that chat gone? That's down. Okay. Oh, also we introduced Jason to the hottest rum in the world. It's Carolina Reaper rum. That I bought SGP for his birthday, and was telling Jason not to have any of it. He had a bit of a shot. It was hot. Twilight dipped his finger in it and fucking nearly burst into flames.
And I went to the toilet.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to... Okay. Right, okay, so this is what Connor said, and I must admit, I absolutely second this. I can't believe the weekend was over like that too quickly. Pleasure meeting you all and loved every minute. Came away thinking that, yeah, I'm competitive and I love racing and winning, but really put it into perspective. This league is different to others. Can't wait for the next one. And I second that. This league is like no other I've been involved in. And it is brilliant that we can meet up like we have. Obviously, with COVID and everything, that's made things difficult. Life makes things difficult. But yeah, it really did help. I think it helped a lot of people's mental state, you know. Just being able to go and have a laugh.
That's what we set it up for, was for people just to forget their worries for an hour.
Yeah.
Or 2 hours at the most, and have some competitive but mostly fun. And sometimes the balance wasn't right, sometimes the balance is right, and people were liking it. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, but we've always sorted it out as a league.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, we can't wait for the next one. I think we'll probably be looking at doing something a little more up north next time. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, couple of bits.
I've not got enough room for you, so.
Oh, by the way, we've all been invited to Sweden, as long as we take Carl in. Oh, cramp! Oh, shit, sorry.
I can't fly, so I'll be running a boat.
Oh, yeah, oh dear. Oh, no. You know, you'd be a bit slow in a boat, wouldn't you? Talking about slow. Your mum is so slow, it took her 9 months to make a joke.
All right.
That's my revenge for your joke about my mother.
Considering I was the only one planned.
Well, What do you
know
call?
how they say, you know how they say the bird of peace is a dove? What's the bird of love?
It's a dove, isn't it? Love? No, it's the dove's peace.
No, the bird
of love.
peace is the dove. What's the bird of true love?
God, it's gonna be a joke. I don't know. Go on.
Swallow.
Fucking hell. Oh, I was wondering why music was coming from my printer. Apparently the paper was jabbed. Whee! Okay, I want to quickly give a shout out to the drivers. Thank you very much for taking part. Without you guys, there is no league. Also, thank you to all of the admins for everything that they do. Ray for joining us on commentary and giving up your Friday nights to do that. Big thank you to myself as well. But also thank you, Ray, for being there and being able to edit the video last week when I had issues. But yeah, absolutely brilliant season. We have got another season coming soon. We're going to have a couple of weeks break. And then we are into a season that we haven't named yet. There was a couple of ideas for a name the other night, but it has not been named yet. But it is something different. And all the information's out there. I should mention as well. For the DGT drivers or anybody who wishes to join us at any time in lobbies, you are free to get in touch into the Dynamic GT League Facebook page. However, we wouldn't just throw you into league races with us because we'd have to get to know you. But on a Monday night, feel free to join us if you wish. But what we're going to be doing, I believe, over the course of the next championship is we're not going to be doing practice sessions on Monday nights for the Thursday night races. It's not the way we want to approach that championship because we're using 10 different cars. So what we'll be doing on the Monday nights is doing a bit of GT7, testing how that's going. And then after this next championship is finished, we can perhaps do a few events on... in the 2 weeks after, in this off-season, we'll be on GT7 on Thursdays as well, to try and give that a bit of a test. And then we'll be on to the next championship, and then after that, probably the Dirty Championships, unless I'm mistaken.
No, I think that is the plan, especially with summer holidays coming up.
Absolutely. So, just to sort of final recap there on this championship, it's been a tricky one for some drivers. Interesting having the 2 tyre compounds available, difficult tyre wear, strategies, all different types of strategies working at one race and not another, overtakes galore, action galore, and thrilling.
You know, there's one thing we never really heard.
Go on.
Throughout the championship.
Go on.
I don't like this car. I don't like this track.
Well, I heard it from Dave the Arp last night. Oh no, I don't like this tyre wear, but no, you're right. Yeah. I think, to be fair, most people did like the car. Perhaps the tyre wear. Well, was the tyre wear too aggressive? I don't think so. But it was a fun car to drive, and hopefully the drivers are going to enjoy driving the next car as well. Okay, I am going to do a quick confirm race result and championship standings, just in case there were any reports brought in after we have done the commentary. And I'll leave. Oh, actually, no, there's 2 questions. I've got a question for you, Ray. The 2nd of June 2023 is right. That date. How do you say that date in 5 letters?
In 5 letters?
In 5 letters. 2nd of June 2023. I could do with a countdown clock now.
2nd of June. 5 letters?
Yeah. I got you here. I shall put you out of your misery.
Yeah.
That date When is that?
Today?
5 letters. Today.
Alright.
Yeah. Now, what do you call a blonde woman who lost 95% of her intelligence?
Blonde woman that lost?
Yeah, lost 95% of her intelligence.
Dumb blonde?
A widow. A bit dark, but it made you laugh. Right, okay. Thank you, Ray, for joining us on commentary.
Alright. Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Let's go and check out that confirmed race result, the championship standings. And thank you, everyone, for watching what has been one hell of a championship. Demon R then is crowned Track Limits champion. Championship number 9 for him. Congratulations to Demon R on that 9th Golden Star. Although everybody else might hate you for it. Okay, let's then confirm the race result. There were no reports placed, so Conrad with the victory, maximum 20 points. Demon R second place with that crucial 17. SRI with what a move at the end, third place, 15 points, and then Steve F1 in 4th. Unfortunate to drop down. Jason, he gave it a good battle, but 5th place for him. SGP in 6th, Twilight in 7th, Hay in 8th, Dave the Harp in 9th, Formula Gary in 10th, Ridge Blues in 11th, and Jimmy in 12th. It was one hell of an end to a race. It was one hell of an end to a championship. So let's take a look at the confirmed standings. Demon R, as I said, is champion. Steve F1 finishes in 2nd place, 1 point behind. SGP in 3rd, and then we've got Twilight in 4th, SRI in 5th, Jason in 6th, Conrad in 7th, Dave the Harp in 8th, Formula Gary in 9th, Hay in 10th, Art Powell in 11th, Bob in 12th, tied with Rich Blues for 12th on 45 points each, and then we've got Jimmy in 14th on 26 points. Well, we've said it a few times this season. What a race that has been. What a season it has been, and hopefully the seasons to come are going to be just as exciting. We are going to have a couple of weeks break now, and then we're into a very different type of championship, as we've already mentioned. 10 different cars at 5 different racetracks. We've got reverse grids from previous race results, no tyre wear, no fuel wear. So yeah, absolutely anything could happen in those races, and I get a feeling it might be a little bit bonkers to commentate on, but hopefully will be absolutely brilliant to take part in and amazing to watch. As for the watchers, thank you very much for joining us and watching the Dynamic GT League. We do appreciate your attention. See, Connor, we do get views. I might not get many personal views, but at least DGT gets views. But yeah, we really do appreciate those who follow us. And as always, links in the description for our sponsors or the driver sponsors, and for the DGT merch, which is available on the Streamlabs website, and custom items are also available. Just drop us a message if there's anything you would like. Okay, thank you everybody once again for joining us, and we'll see you all again soon for what will undoubtedly be one hell of another season in the Dynamic GT League. Goodbye.